This broadcast is presented in 4K HDR Ultra High Definition. Presented by Horns and Hooves Entertainment. You are watching Buffalo After Dark.
Good evening, everybody. This is your host, Bob Hanson. I am here with Mr. Sean O'Malley, aka Mr. Bubba Matt, over here at Buffalo After Dark. I believe this is episode 93 or 94. Mr. Sean O'Malley, how are you doing tonight, brother?
I'm doing well, man. Can't believe we're already reaching 100, man. Feels like we started this just yesterday.
I know, it's crazy. And you're probably wondering, Bobby, why are you wearing a Pittsburgh Penguins jersey when the Avalanche and the Lightning are in the Stanley Cup Finals? Well, number one, I don't have a Tampa jersey. Number two, I wore an Avs jersey a week and a half ago. And three, I can do whatever the fuck I want. So I got a Pittsburgh jersey on. I think this is the first time I'm actually debuting it on the show.
Okay.
Yeah, so what else has been new with you?
Besides the fact that I got a new Buffalo Bills jersey, which I'm wearing right now, nothing much, really.
Cole Beasley, huh?
Yes, sir. I've been wanting his jersey for a while.
Really? I'm glad that you were able to get it.
Oh yeah, it was only $50 too.
Oh hell yeah, dude! I'm just before I forget. Do you have Channel 7 on your TV?
I'm not near my TV right now.
Oh damn! I was gonna ask you because the Stanley Cup Finals is starting, so I wanted to throw that out there. But
okay.
We'll get to that in a little bit because we actually have a lot to talk about tonight. So I figured let's do that. So either way, life's been good. It's been treating me well. And over the week, I ended up getting this guy. Oh, it's blurry shit, but you can tell I got a PSP. Let me actually fix my background. I'm going to unblur my background. There we go. So you can see it better. I got a PSP. This is the original PSP. Not the PS Vita or the PSP Go. This is the original OG PSP. Have you ever had these before when you were growing up as a kid?
I actually have. It was back in the mid 2000s, and I played freaking God of War 1 and 2, Ratchet and Clank game on there. It's been a long time since I've had that, and I've had the PS Vita too.
Oh wow! Look at you go.
Oh yeah.
Look at you go. And look what I have. I have a whole bunch of games that I bought over the weekend too. And I want to show them off today. This one I got in the mail today from Amazon. Thank you very much. Little Big Planet. You ever play this game?
I have not, but I've heard of it.
Yeah. Think of it like this. Do you like Super Mario?
I do.
Okay. Think of it like this, but you could create your own levels.
So pretty much like Super Mario Maker.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
But you could create your own levels from like top to bottom on this thing. It's really fun. I had the original Little Big Planet. I have it on PSP. I had the first one on the PS3, and I had the second one on the PS3, and then I had the third one on the PS4, and then I have a revamped version of it on the PS5. So I'm a big PlayStation guy. I don't know if you can tell or not.
I'm pretty sure I can already tell.
Yeah, it's pretty insightful. And then, of course, I had to get this.
And NFL Street 3, wow.
Yeah, I actually, this is probably my favorite game on the PSP right now, believe it or not. Even over all the other titles I'm going to show in about a second. I got that. I also got Gretzky NHL, which is kind of like a fond memory for me because like it reminds me of NHL Face-Off 2001 in a lot of aspects, but this took place during, I think, 05, 06. But yeah, it's literally Wayne Gretzky's game. So I enjoy that game. And then this one I had a little hard time with playing lately because it's been giving me some loading problems. Is MotorStorm Arctic Edge. Yeah,
okay.
I've had this for a couple of days now. I might return, and I'm not really sure. And by the way, I am bringing the PSP with me on our trip to Kansas City.
Nice.
Yeah. And then, of course, I have two Cabela's games on here. I have Cabela's African Safari, which if you've never played a Cabela's game, I suggest you do so. And I have African Safari, and then I have Cabela's Dangerous Hunts, the Ultimate Challenge. I love the PS2 version of this game, but I just found out the day I bought the PSP that this was available for the PSP, and I had no idea. And I went out and bought it. So I'm really grateful that I got that. I mean, I'll get used to the mechanics as soon as I start playing it more often, but it'll do. And the last PSP game I have for now is Twisted Metal Head On.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I saved the best for last. I mean, it's getting turned into a show, I think. So I'm looking forward to it for sure.
Okay. All right.
And I plan to get either a PS3 or a PS2 in the near future. So, because I actually had to sell my PS2 because the one that I originally had was not working too well. So I exchanged it for the PSP.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So we got a lot to break down on this evening because there's a lot of hockey news that came out tonight, and it's just been nonstop. And of course, there's been some football news, which we're going to get to in a little while as well. So why don't we start with the hockey news? Because that I think is a biggie. And that is obviously tonight is the very first game of the Stanley Cup Finals, game 1, and the puck just got dropped. It is game 1 of the 2022 Stanley Cup Finals between the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Colorado Avalanche. So what are your thoughts on all of this? Like, what's your impression on the Stanley Cup Finals this year?
I think for the first few games, it's going to be really competitive between the two. But I think at the end of the day, I still got Colorado winning it all.
You still have Colorado winning it all?
Yep.
All right, fair enough. But you know what, though? I will say Colorado's a little banged up. And I think a lot of people in the world, not just in North America, but around the world, are picking the Avalanche to win the Stanley Cup because nobody wants to see a 3-peat from Tampa. Especially for those who don't like them very much. So a lot of people will say that if Tampa Bay wins the Stanley Cup this year, they'll be the first team since the 80s with the Islanders when they won 4 cups in a row. They'll be the first team since the Dynasty era to win 3 straight cups.
Wow.
Which is, in hockey, really, really hard to do.
Yeah, it is.
It's not like basketball where in the Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen era where there was little to no parity in the NBA outside of the Jazz. Now, granted, I don't watch basketball, but I know a lot about the 90s.
Yeah, those were the days, man. Nobody could touch the Bulls at that time. Not even my Knicks. Oh gosh.
I mean, honestly, I'm not even a basketball fan. I never really had a team growing up, but if I had a team, it'd probably be the Miami Heat, if I'm being completely honest.
Okay.
Well, that's just me personally. But aside from all that, Colorado, I think, because they will have home ice advantage for the first 2 games, including tonight. So I think it's going to go 7 games at most. I mean, these are between 2 Clash of the Titans in the Stanley Cup Finals.
Yeah, honestly, I don't really have any doubt about that.
I mean, we're getting a hell of a series. I mean, you have Nikita Kucherov, you have Steven Stamkos, you have Victor Hedman, you have Andrei Vasilevsky. I mean, the Tampa Bay Lightning are just stacked, and they are just looking to redeem themselves for a 3rd cup. Colorado has an agenda, and they have a huge axe to grind. And then the talent they have Nate McKinnon, they have Cale Makar, they have Nico Rantanen, they have Gabriel Landeskog. They're just stacked. Bowen Byram. I mean, the Avalanche are just stacked from top to bottom. I mean, how could you not be excited for this series? I mean, it's literally between 2 elite teams in the NHL this year.
Exactly, and yeah, as you said, this could really very possibly go to 7 games. And
oh yeah, absolutely. And, yeah, I think it's very possible, but you never know. I mean, this could go 6 as well. I mean, a lot of people, and believe it or not, I've actually met people who really believe Tampa Bay is going to crush Colorado. They really believe this.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what I don't know what they were smoking at the time.
I have no idea.
There was no way. There's no way Tampa Bay is going to dominate the Avalanche. No way. It'll be close, like I said, but Colorado's taking it all.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the Avalanche have this in the bag. Well, actually, you know what? I take that back. I think, though, I don't think it's going to be in the bag because Tampa is no pushover. They clearly aren't, and they've shown. But I don't know if Tampa will have the what's the power? I mean, they got the experience to win the 3rd cup, but I feel like the Avalanche are a little banged up right now with injuries and stuff like that. So I think it's going to really affect them going forward. But it really just depends. I mean, and I also found out too, Brayton Point is going to be playing in game 1 of the Cup Finals tonight, and Darcy Kemper is back in the net for the Avalanche.
Okay.
So yeah, it's going to get very interesting. But there's a lot of news that has to be broken out tonight, so we're definitely going to do that for sure. So But in general, though, this is probably one of the best times in the year. We only have one series left, which is obviously, unfortunately, the Cup Finals. But, we're in for a treat, and I think it's going to be a very nifty, tight series.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so we both said Colorado. I'm going to say Avalanche at 7.
I'm going to say Avalanche at 6.
You're going to say the Avs at 6?
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I don't personally care if Tampa wins the Cup, but I feel a lot of people in their mindset would be like, nothing would make me happier if Colorado won the Cup this year.
Yeah, I know. I remember them winning it before, like years ago, back in the 2000s. And you know what? I think this is their time to win it again, despite all the injuries they got right now.
Oh yeah, 21 years ago, man. And we talked about it last week on the show about how Joe Sakic was the captain of those 2 Stanley Cups in the early 2000s or late 90s, early 2000s. And he's not only was their captain, but he was also their general manager. Oh, I'm sorry, he is their general manager. And he pretty much built this team from the ground up. And it's crazy because if you look back in the 2016-17 campaign, Sean, if just by looking at their stats, the Avalanche were rock bottom at that time. They had no direction. They had no players to cling on to other than McKinnon. But I feel like at this point, they've really blossomed to some of these core guys. I mean, Cale Makar and Wayne Gretzky himself said that he's probably like Cale Makar is arguably the best defenseman that he's seen since Bobby Orr, who's like one of the all-time greats.
Well, that definitely says a lot.
Oh, absolutely. He's right up there with Gretzky, though, as far as that talent. But if Cale Makar can win a cup, I think that would really benefit his legacy forever, for sure. I mean, he's so freaking good. If you just watch highlights of him on YouTube, he's ridiculous.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, I would say 2/3 of the Avalanche core is legit fun to watch. I mean, like I said, Nathan McKinnon, Cale Makar, Gabriel Landeskog, they're all talented as shit. I mean, there's no question about the Avalanche. But all in all, though, I mean, I'm excited to see what they can do in the finals. I just hope they don't disappoint because they've made it this far for nothing.
Exactly.
I mean, they're definitely going to show what they're made of, and I'm excited to see what they can do.
Hey, so am I. So let's hope they can still pull it off.
Yep, only way to find out. And then some outside of notes of the Stanley Cup Finals. We actually, and like I said earlier, we have a lot of NHL news to talk about today. And one of the news that came out today from Chris Johnson, who is an analyst or an insider for the NHL on Sportsnet, he said, and quote, that the 2022-23 NHL campaign will begin on October 11th, and the schedule will likely be released in early July, right around Independence Day.
Dang. Don't they usually start in November?
No, never.
Okay.
Never.
Oh man, my bad. I meant late October. Do they usually start around that time?
No, usually it starts in either early October, like the single digit numbers of October, or mid October. The latest is the 11th. That's the earliest that people would schedule in on their calendars for the season to come out. So there's going to be I can tell you right now, Sean, because of the scheduling that came out this past year with the Olympics and with all the COVID shortages and stuff like that, I feel like everything now is, what's it called? I think everything's going to be pushed into like one area and it's just all going to come out. It's not like what it used to be where it's like timely framed and stuff like that. So I don't know if teams have different designs of logos or jerseys. I mean, free agency is going to be nuts. I think that starts July 12th. I'm pretty sure. I have to double check. But July 7th, I know for a fact, is the draft. So we got a lot to look forward to for that.
Can't wait for the draft.
Yeah. So as far as predictions for the season opener, Sean, who do you feel the Kraken are going to, play on their opening week? Or I should be asking, who do you think they're going to play? And do you think that game will be on the road or at home?
Oh, let's see.
So I'll tell you mine in a little bit. Who I think who the Sabres or the Islanders are going to play.
Let's see. As far as the Kraken goes, let's see. Their first ever regular season game was on the road, so it has to be a home game for the second season. And I think it's gonna be a division rival. Probably either Calgary or Edmonton.
Ooh, that's bold, man. So you think it's going to be one of the two teams from the Battle of Alberta?
I believe so.
I think so too. I think if it really comes down to it, I think it's going to be the Edmonton Oilers. I firmly believe that. But I can also go as far as prediction, I think the Kraken will start on Thursday the 12th, which is a day before we leave for Kansas City, and they play the San Jose Sharks. That's what I think. But it just really depends on what happens with the scheduling, because we're not going to know shit. As far as I know, I think the season opener will be revealed after the finals. That's what's going to happen either way, because the scheduling is weird this year. But most likely, we're going to find out the season opener for every team during the Stanley Cup final or after the Stanley Cup Finals. That's what we're going to know for sure. So like I said, early July will be the schedule release, and it's on October the 11th. I think for the Islanders, I think they're going to start the season on the road against the Devils, and I think that's going to be on October the 11th. And then on October 12th or 13th, I'm going to say the 13th, I think the Sabres will have a home game against the Montreal Canadiens. That's what I think.
Okay.
Yeah, that's who I think that's going to start off the season with.
That sounds like a pretty good game right there, Buffalo and Montreal.
Yep, that's an old-time rivalry. Yeah. And then I'm going to share the screen now because we actually have something really interesting that came out today that I really want to share with you guys. It's from Aesthetics on Twitter. For some reason, they're not on Facebook. What's the word? So there are 3 new logos that came out this year. As you can see right here in front of you on the screen, on the far left, the green one where it looks like the green monster, this is actually the Discover Winter Classic logo, which will take place in Boston, Massachusetts on New Year's Day when the Bruins play the Penguins. What do you think of the logo, honestly?
Let's see. It's green, so it matches. So, I don't know. I was going to say it matches Boston pretty well, but I was thinking basketball. I don't know why. But, I think it does match well. So, that kind of looks like kind of a forest green or something like that. But, whatever. It's not bad. I mean, not too shabby, not not too let me see, not too what's that word?
Shabby.
I think I just said that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much all I can think of right now.
Huh. Funny how that works. I think there's a resemblance to the Green Monster in there.
Green Monster?
Yeah, look at it.
I'm not sure if I heard of the Green Monster before.
Are you serious, Sean?
I'm legit serious, man. I'm not, bro. Anything Boston related or whatever, I don't even know.
Okay.
Green Monster.
I'm gonna give you. All right. I'm gonna tell you this right now. I'm a casual baseball fan, and even I know what the Green Monster is.
Well, seeing as how I'm a freaking Yankees fan, and I really don't like Boston that very much. I guess I couldn't even care less about what the Green Monster is in freaking Boston.
Okay, fine. Let me put it this way: the Green Monster, just to fucking educate you, the fact that I'm even doing that is embarrassing.
I'm looking it up right now. I'm looking it up right now, and honestly, I'm gonna be real. I don't see what the big deal is.
The Green Monster is a giant green wall that reflects the baseballs from leaving Fenway Park. It's called the Green Monster.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it's like a big size wall inside Fenway Park.
Okay, I'm looking at it right now. Huh. Guess the Red Sox don't want to be embarrassed if a ball were to go out of field, huh?
Well, I mean, they've already had a Winter Classic in Boston, and that was 13 years ago in 2010 against the Flyers. And then they're using the same stadium they had that game in, but years later, but they're playing the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Okay.
So, which is ironic because I'm in fact wearing a Pittsburgh Penguins jersey. I figure I'd just show that out. And by the way, this was the jersey during Sidney Crosby's inaugural season and Mario Lemieux's last season in the NHL, where they had a very small stint together, where they played together. And we have our first goal in the Cup Finals, and it's going to Mikko Rantanen. It's 1-0 Avalanche.
Nice.
Or is it Gabriel Landeskog? I'm pretty sure it's Landeskog. No, it looks like it's Landy. All right. So Gabriel Landeskog scored the first goal in the finals. I thought it was Rantanen because that's where it was pointed out, but it's looking like Landeskog. Anyway, so that's the logo for the Winter Classic. And then in the middle, we have the 2023 NHL All-Star Game presented by Honda in South Florida, home of the Florida Panthers in Sunrise. Tell me about that logo. How do you feel about it?
Now this one I really like. Got the red, orange, and yellow background representing the sun, and the blue, of course, representing the water, and they've got the freaking why do I keep forgetting what they're called? Dadgummit.
Palm trees?
Yeah, palm trees. Oh, that's embarrassing. But I really like it though. I really do. It's a pretty nice logo.
I should get you a Snickers bar.
And I hate Snickers.
Because believe me, you're not you when you're hungry.
Sometimes I'm never myself anyway, with or without it.
All right, fair enough. All right. And then I actually like that logo. I think it has a very colorful meaning to it. It feels very 80s-ish. And I know the Panthers weren't around at that time, but that logo is really, really nice. And for the Panthers to be wearing that patch next year on their jerseys, it's going to look very interesting, I guess you could say. I mean, the last time the Panthers, I think, hosted the All-Star Game, I think was in 2003. I got to check the timeline because I'm pretty sure that the last time the Panthers hosted an All-Star Game was, I think, when the great Roberto Luongo was on the Florida Panthers at the time. I want to be sure about that. Let me see. I think it was 2003. Yep, 2003. So this would be the 20-year anniversary, basically, for the 2023 All-Star Game to be in Florida. So they're celebrating the same event from 20 years ago.
Not bad.
Yeah, I got to tell you, man, the All-Star jerseys back in the day were really, really dope, especially from the 2003 NHL All-Star Game in South Florida. Oh, my God. Those jerseys were really, really dope, and they were very innovative at the time. But this logo is pretty resemblant. So let me show you something. So if you take the logo, let me go on Google real quick and show you what I'm talking about. NHL All-Star logo 2003. Oh, it's 2-0 Colorado. Look at that.
What?
Yeah, Valerie. Yeah,
wow.
I just turned my head and it was just poof. There you go. Yep, it's 2-0 Avalanche. Valerie Nichushkin just scored. Wow. Like, holy fuck. Anyway, so check this out. So this was the logo for the All-Star Game in 2003 when it was last held in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
As you can see, there's the stars, there's the logo, there's the sun, and then there's the water.
Okay. Honestly, I like the newer one better because I think that represents more what South Florida is. Yeah.
And to think that embarrassing hockey team that just so happened to have the best record in the league get the shit kicked out of them in the second round by Tampa Bay, all of a sudden now deserve the fucking All-Star Game.
Jeez.
Then again, it is what it is. And then last but not least, the one on the right with the red and black logo. This is the Navy Federal Credit Union Stadium Series that will be held in February in Raleigh, North Carolina, between the Carolina Hurricanes and the Washington Capitals. Give us your thoughts, Sean.
This one, I'll be honest, looks more. It kind of looks like a college football logo. If I could be real, to me it does, but I don't know.
Tell me.
I mean, just the way Stadium Series was drawn out, that gave me a little bit of college football vibes right there.
Yeah, I mean, I can see where you're coming from, especially like here on the bottom. I think that's supposed to be like an orange tree or an apple tree. I mean, I was just in North Carolina in September for like 2-3 days. So I should know the area a little bit because I actually was in Raleigh and I got pictures of the Hurricane Stadium. So I should know a little bit about this area. But the bottom line is that I really like the red and black feel to it as well. And I also like that they use silver as like a little bit of a shadowy area. Like if you look here, there's two sticks and there's a stick here, and then there's the shadow, and then it works its way around on the left side. That I really, really like.
Yeah, no, that's pretty good.
Hands down. But in general, though, of all the three logos, where would you rank the worst to first?
I would have to okay, from worst to first. Winter Classic, Stadium Series, then All-Star.
Okay. And then for me, I'm gonna say Stadium Series, the Winter Classic, and the All-Star game. That's my order right there. Obviously the All-Star being on top. But that's the logo though for the upcoming event for 2023. 2022-23 campaign is the All-Star game, the Winter Classic, and stuff like that. But it's fun overall though. So I wanted to just address that. And we actually do have some news coming out, and that is former Boston Bruins head coach Bruce Cassidy will be named and has been named the new head coach of the Vegas Golden Knights. Yeah, Boston, I'm telling you, they made a big mistake by firing Cassidy. And You're in Any Tree, if you've ever seen that video, has described the Boston Bruins since 2017 as the boys club, where they blame all their failures on other people, and yet they get worse from there. So that's what the Boston Bruins are in. And it's getting to a point now where they're talking about rebuilding. And Patrice Bergeron's a free agent in a few weeks. So there's no guarantee he comes back to Boston. And they just fired Bruce Cassidy, who was the least of the team's issues.
Yeah, that's definitely going to come back to bite him real soon.
Oh, yeah. And not to mention, last week, too, we talked about on the show how it was a possibility that David Pastrnak could end up being traded to the Seattle Kraken or another team in the NHL, like the Devils or the Islanders or whoever has the best offer, basically. But I have my eyes on the Islanders as my possible destination. And, of course, I would imagine for you, Seattle would be your top bidding.
Yeah, definitely.
So, I don't know, man. We'll see where this goes, because I think Cassidy will fit right in with Vegas' system, and they're basically just going for it at this point. They have no choice. They have all the talent in the world, but can he handle Jack Eichel's entitlements?
That's going to be the biggest test for him.
Yeah, I mean, he's a good overall coach, but with Jack Eichel's temper tantrums, I really don't know how he's going to handle it.
Right.
Holy hell. But yeah, so Boston is now looking for their next head coach now that they fired Bruce Cassidy. And he's on his way to the Vegas Golden Knights. And speaking of the next head coach, there is an actual report, and there's actually two conflicting stories about this. The first one last night came out, and it was reported that former Columbus Blue Jackets head coach John Tortorella is working on a negotiation contract to become the next head coach of the Philadelphia Flyers.
Whoa.
Yeah. John Tortorella, who's one of the last hard knock head coaches in the league. He's one of the last, how do I say this? He's one of the last old school, head coaches who basically tries to help you get better, but he also calls you out on your bullshit. So
I think he'll fit right in with Philadelphia.
Yeah, and I'll send you a video of his attitude because it's hysterical. There's actually a top 10 list of him throwing a bitch fit and basically everything, and he's a great commentator as far as to the press and all that. But Johnny Tortorella, man, he's a great coach. I would love the Sabres to get him, but they didn't do it. And at that time, they went and got Phil Housley. But whatever. But there's a possibility that he's going to be the head coach of the Philadelphia Flyers. And they want to announce it as early as tomorrow. So if it does come to reality, John Tortorella will likely be the new head coach of the Flyers.
Okay. Hey, good for Philly. Like I said, the way city of Philadelphia is, I definitely think he's going to fit right in.
He has to be. I mean, he's a hard-nosed coach with a hard-nosed, organization. And the Flyers, to me, have a lot of holes to fill. And the only reason I want to bring up the Philadelphia Flyers is it came out today, and I swear to God, Barry Trotz, right? The head coach of the ex-head coach of the Islanders.
Who again?
Barry Trotz.
Barry Trotz. I might have heard that name before.
He was the head coach of the Islanders, and he coached the Caps when they won the Cup. Let me show you. You recognize him?
I think I remember that face.
Yeah, that's Barry Trotz.
Okay.
But anyway, so the whole reason I bring up Barry Trotz is because before the whole negotiation thing, when John Tortorella to the Flyers, there was a report, and I swear to God when I read this, is he actually rejected an offer that was made to him by the Flyers that would have given him a multi-year deal, at most 4 to 5 years, and they would have paid him $7 million per year.
What?
Yeah, $7 million for a possible 4 or 5 years to be the head coach of the Flyers, and Barry Trotz rejected it.
Why?
I don't know, because I feel like there's an agenda on his mind. One or two things happen. It's either he wants to coach the Winnipeg Jets because he's from Winnipeg, Manitoba. He wants to coach the Jets, or he might want an executive role. He might be a general manager. He might be a president of hockey operations. We really don't know. There's a lot of speculation about Barry Trotz right now. And it's not a guarantee if whether or not he takes those two jobs, but his primary target, I have to believe at this point, is going to be the Winnipeg Jets. I mean, when you reject $7 million from the Philadelphia fucking Flyers, there's a serious problem.
Yeah. There's got to be something. Yeah, there's got to be something bigger that's on his mind. That's more than money.
Yep. And Pete DeBoer, the former ex-head coach of the Vegas Golden Knights, is the front runner, if not on the verge of becoming the next head coach of the Dallas Stars.
Okay.
That's going to be a very interesting hiring for sure. But I don't know. We'll see what happens with the rest of the league. I mean, Boston still needs a coach. Philadelphia's about to get Torts. Barry Trotz might want to be either an executive or a head coach in Winnipeg. Detroit still needs a coach. Like I said, Winnipeg needs a coach.
And Boston needs a coach.
Yep, and Tampa Bay, Boston just scored. Boston needs a coach, and Tampa Bay just scored.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a pretty sloppy goal, but Nick Paul just scored for Tampa Bay, so he just cut the lead in half. So, like I said, I expect this to be a very tight end Stanley Cup Finals. So. But the bottom line is what I was trying to say before is no matter who any of these coaches go, I feel like the majority of them will do either really bad or really good, depending on the location. Like Torts, I think will do decently okay with the Flyers.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yep. And we'll see where Barry Trotz goes, because I feel like a lot of Vegas fans, like a lot of people who were against Vegas, were just really happy that Trotz did not accept the Vegas job. But there's a chance he might go to Boston. There's a chance he might go to Detroit. There's a chance he might go to Winnipeg. We really don't know. We're gonna find out pretty soon.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess Winnipeg since I think he wants to be, I think he wants to stay home, or something like that. I don't know. It's a possibility.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I agree with that 100%. And what else? What do we have here today? And I read a stat too. Speaking of the Stanley Cup Finals, I read the stat from thescore.com, and the stat sounds like this. It says from 2019 all the way to 2021, we're talking about the Montreal Canadiens, the Boston Bruins, and the Tampa Bay Lightning. It says right here that the team that eliminates the Toronto Maple Leafs from the Stanley Cup playoffs has advanced to the finals in the third time in 4 years.
Wow.
Yeah, imagine that. So the 3 out of the 4 years that were played in the Cup Finals, every team that made it, like Boston, Montreal, Tampa Bay, all eliminated the Toronto Maple Leafs from the playoffs. So it's going to be really interesting how everything plays out. But that's just laughable, honestly.
Yeah.
Fucking Toronto. And the last big piece of news about hockey before we move on to football is Ryan Miller's number 30 jersey was announced that will be retired by the Buffalo Sabres next season.
Yes. Mad props to him. I remember watching him back in the freaking mid 2000s with the Sabres. That year where in 2007, obviously that was my favorite year for the Sabres. But honestly, yeah, this is obviously it's more than deserved, man. Like, holy crap. What a career the man had with Buffalo.
Absolutely. And he's not only just Buffalo, but he also is an iconic figure among American goalies. He's a silver medalist. He's a Vezina Trophy winner. He's a 2-time Eastern Conference Final appearance. He has the most wins of any goalie on the team in history, et cetera, et cetera. So Ryan Miller, man, he definitely deserves it, in my opinion. It sucks, though, that he never got to see a cup, but he's definitely one of the all-time greats.
Yeah, definitely. I really wish he would have won I really wish he would have won a cup with the Sabres, man. Holy crap.
I would have loved
Can you imagine the freaking celebration that Buffalo would have been?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, gosh.
Especially back in 2005, 2006. If they played Edmonton, I think they would have won the cup easily. Or if they played Anaheim, for that matter, I think. Either way, I think Buffalo would have won the cup on either way. But,
yeah.
1 second. Sorry. But yeah, so this is the retirement banner they're going to use next season for Ryan Miller.
Dang, he was with the Sabres that long?
Yeah, he was drafted in 99. He came in 2002, and then he worked his way up.
Okay, who drafted him though? Just
Buffalo.
curious.
Buffalo.
Oh.
In the 5th round in 99.
Oh, then I guess he knew. Okay, so I guess things are way different in hockey than it is in football since I'm assuming he made his debut in 2002. So
yeah. Oh, and the fucker won the Hobey Baker Award. Which, if you're not sure what that is, the Hobey Baker is college hockey's equivalent of the Heisman Trophy.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So it's called the Hobey Baker Award. So he won that award in 2002 out of Michigan State.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, college hockey is big in the United States. It really is. I mean, I know it doesn't get a lot of coverage, but it's really, really big with development. So I want to just address the elephant in the room on that. But yeah, man, I'm telling you, that's going to be a deserving honor next year to watch Ryan Miller get his jersey retired into the rafters. I feel pretty good about next year about the Sabres. I really do.
Yeah, I do too.
I'm confident that they're going to get to the point where they have the most cap. And speaking of the Sabres, I forgot to mention this, is earlier on the same day that they announced Ryan Miller's retirement jersey, it was also said they also acquired the contract rights to retired goalie Ben Bishop's contract for $4.95 million until the end of next year due to cap salary issues. So they got his contract rights until next year. And they also got a free 7th round pick in 2022 from the Dallas Stars for, in quote, future considerations, which in hockey terms means practically nothing. So yeah, I wanted to just throw that out there. But it was an interesting day on Friday for the Sabres, for sure, with the news about Miller and all that. Yeah. Oh, and there's also a possibility. You've heard of the name Johnny Gaudreau, right?
I don't think I have.
He plays for the Calgary Flames.
I wasn't following hockey at that time.
Okay, fair enough. Well, Johnny Gaudreau, in case you're wondering, my dog just walked in. Anyway, so Johnny Gaudreau is a pending UFA for the Calgary Flames, and the Seattle Kraken are very highly involved with him.
Okay.
Yeah, he's definitely worth a 1st-round pick, but they didn't trade him because he was a pending UFA, and he's currently on the Calgary Flames only at 28, 29 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, so the Kraken might be able to give it a swing, but there's a possibility he might come home. When I say home, I mean he might be going back to New Jersey to play for the Devils, or he might play for the Flyers, because he grew up in New Jersey, but he grew up as a Flyers fan. But if the money's right, the Kraken might throw in a buttload of money at him.
Well, who knows? Honestly, I hope we get him. So, hey, Kraken, whatever you got to do, man, to get him, do it.
Yeah, and I believe right now, I know for a fact Buffalo has $38 million in cap space available. I'm not sure about Seattle. Let me take a look real quick, and then we'll move on to football. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Yeah, $22 million. Yeah, $22.885 million in projected cap space for the Seattle Kraken going into the offseason.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's a lot going on for both the clubs. Buffalo, like I said, will have $38 million in cap. And they pretty much gained almost $5 million in cap just for the contract rights. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's going to be very interesting for sure for what both clubs do in the offseason. So let's get right down to football, because there is a lot of news, and there's a lot to cover up tonight for football for sure. So the first thing I want to talk about is what the actual fuck is going on in Cleveland.
Honestly, bro, I just don't know, man. Now the dude got 2 more lawsuits against him. That's a total of 26.
26 total counts of sexual assault against this guy. Yeah.
What was the front office thinking?
Well, are you surprised, Sean? Are you really that surprised? It's the fucking Browns, dude.
I mean, I didn't think they would be that dumb. And I'm sorry to all the Browns fans. I'm not talking about the Browns fans. I'm talking about the I'm talking about the front office guys. Okay, just putting that out there, just to be clear. I'm talking about the front office guys. I didn't think they would be this freaking dumb.
Oh, believe me.
Holy crap.
Oh, believe me, I'm not surprised either. But get a load of this guy. You give up 3 first-round picks 3 months ago when the trade happened. Hi, Dan. Yeah, my dog's name is Dan, by the way. He's an English cream retriever. He's actually laying right next to me. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. So Cleveland gave up 3 first-round picks for this guy. And not only just 3 first-round picks, they also gave up multiple picks for Deshaun Watson, and they paid him $250 million guaranteed money. And now he has 26 counts of sexual assault on him.
And of course, on top of that, they screwed Baker Mayfield over, and it's just good grief, man.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield, man. I mean, what do you do with him? Because he clearly is not going to go back to the Browns. They clearly told him to fuck off because of the whole stupid allegations with Deshaun Watson. And now they're talking about what's the word I'm looking for? And they're like, "Hey, Baker, you want to come back and play for us?" No, thanks. What do you mean?
No, he ain't coming back.
Yeah,
y'all should have thought about that before screwing him over.
Yeah, really. They're a bunch of dumbasses, to be honest with you. I mean, honestly, the Browns deserve this. I mean, it also makes it worse that because we also talked about it last week on the show that last week the Texans knew about the whole situation because they allowed him to meet with 66 women in 17 months. So during the pandemic, he was getting multiple massages from multiple women, and and he allegedly assaulted all of them. So how do you go from 18 to 19 to 22 to 24 to 26? How do you do that?
My gosh, man. Honestly, I don't know how, man. But honestly, at this point, for you to having half of those allegations is bad enough. But freaking 26?
That's a lot of allegations.
Bro, there is no way Deshaun Watson's coming out of this unscathed at all.
Oh, no.
No way.
Far from it. But I will say this, though, and that is the Cleveland Browns. I'm not surprised they did this because this is not the first time the Browns have committed have committed treason towards the NFL. Because if you remember, outside of 3-1 Avalanche.
Nice.
Yep, who scored this one? Oh, it looks like Arturi Lehkonen. And by the way, Colorado had a 5-on-3 power play, and Colorado just obliterated them.
Oh, gosh.
I'm almost convinced that the way they're playing right now, and I know it's only the first game in the first period with under 3 minutes to go, but the way the Avs are playing right now, I don't know if Tampa will catch up with them, but we'll find out down the road. We'll come back next week and we'll figure that out. But anyway, so the Browns. So not only is Cleveland stupid for basically backstabbing Baker Mayfield, who was probably the best quarterback they've had since God knows who, and probably the winningest quarterback in the playoffs since 1994. That was almost 28 years ago, almost 30 years ago before that. And the Cleveland Browns of all people are just fucking stupid. You can't do that. You literally threw away their first overall pick from 5 years ago almost. Keep this in mind. 5 years ago, Baker Mayfield was your first overall pick, and you throw him out the window, and now you're like, okay, we have to be better. So how do we get a guy that's mature? Oh, let's just trade for a sexual predator.
Oh, man. Yeah, smart move right there, front office. Smart move.
But I'm not surprised because they also brought in a woman beater at Kareem Hunt.
Oh, gosh, I forgot about him.
Yeah, you forgot about Kareem Hunt, didn't you?
No, I forgot they had him. I know about the assault incident, but I forgot Cleveland had him.
So why is it that Ray Rice was able to get suspended by the league and never play again, and yet Deshaun Watson has 26 counts and is still currently active in the league?
I don't get it. It just doesn't make none of this makes any sense.
No, it doesn't. Do you think it's possible that this is somehow a political witch hunt for all the women because they found out how much money he was making?
It could be. Honestly, with everything being political these days, in a way I wouldn't really be that surprised.
No, I wouldn't be either, but it is Cleveland, and they'll do anything to do anything stupid at this point. But then again, they've been doing this for the last 25 to 30 years.
Yep.
Ever since they came back from Cleveland as an expansion team, ever since then, they've kind of just really shit the bed.
Yeah, for real.
Yep. And as of yesterday, around 12:50 in the afternoon, supposedly there was a rumor going around that the Cleveland Browns are talking to the Carolina Panthers about a trade involving Baker Mayfield.
Oh, gosh.
Now, the question is, do the Panthers actually want it to happen? Because I think Baker at this point is going to play, but not with the Browns.
No. So, I mean, if he is going to play, wait, isn't Sam Darnold still with Carolina?
Yes.
Okay, so if Baker does get traded to Carolina, one of them is going to be the second string.
I think it's going to be Baker because I think Sam Darnold has this ridiculous thought that he is somehow still a quote unquote good quarterback. I don't believe that one bit. I mean, have you seen Sam Darnold?
Oh gosh.
Have you seen that guy play?
I wish I hadn't, especially his time with the Jets. Oh.
It's ridiculous, honestly. I mean,
yeah.
Like, fuck. Like, I can't even imagine where this is going to go. I mean, I think Carolina is going to be a good spot for Baker, but I also wouldn't count out Seattle. But I think the Seahawks are severely convincing themselves that they will try to compete this year without Baker, even though they were very heavily linked with him.
Yeah, I don't know how that's gonna happen for them.
I don't either, but it's going to be very interesting what happens from here on out. Oh, and speaking of interesting things happening from here on out, the Cowboys are planning to use Dak Prescott as more of a runner this year. In other words, they're trying to make him into Lamar Jackson.
Oh my gosh.
They're going to kill him.
They are. Dude, running quarterbacks don't last long.
No, they don't.
Why are they doing this?
Because Mike McCarthy is a fucking moron. And whoever runs their offense.
Have they learned nothing from Michael Vick?
Or better yet, have they learned nothing from their hilarious playoff choke? And, I mean, dude, you ran the clock out with 10 seconds and you run for your life.
Oh gosh.
But no, seriously, turning Dak Prescott into Lamar Jackson is the stupidest idea that you could ever get from anybody.
Yeah, they're gonna kill him if they do that.
My dog, even though he's 11, my dog is a better runner than Dak Prescott.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that for one bit.
It's just hilarious because I firmly believe that Dallas is trying to purposely set him up to fail. That's what I think.
Yeah, I think so too. Because come on, they had to have seen how Dak Prescott ran. Come on.
And yet they somehow think this garbage of a quarterback. Well, Dak is not complete garbage. I just think he's overrated.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, good gosh, this is not going to end well for him.
No, and playing for the Dallas Cowboys is a punishment. It's like playing for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's what it is. The Dallas Cowboys are the equivalent of the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Jeez.
Big celebrities, big name city, big name players, gets all the media attention, and then yet they choke in the playoffs.
Yep.
That's how I look at it. But no, but if it also convinces me that if they're going to use Dak as a runner, it also tells me that Ezekiel Elliott is starting to decline.
That's a very big possibility. Dang.
They're probably having buyer's remorse. Think about it. They're not the
I
only
didn't
ones
even think
too.
about that.
Well, Carolina, the Giants, all those guys that have running backs, the Jets, even with Le'Veon Bell, all of them are probably having buyer's remorse. Look at Todd Gurley. The guy doesn't even want to go back to playing football anymore because literally of how run down he is. Just from the fact that he was playing on an explosive offense and having to play one full year on the Falcons.
Man,
Running backs don't last in the NFL. And running quarterbacks don't last in the NFL. This is why I'm not convinced of Lamar Jackson. Like, he's going to get paid, but I feel like he's going to get massively overpaid to the point where I think he's going to suck.
Yeah. And look, sooner or later, as they get older, they're not gonna be as agile or quick as they were when they were younger. It never happens.
Yeah. I mean, Josh Allen, I'm fine with. Allen, he's 25, 26 years old. That's a young buck, but he's a running quarterback, but he doesn't make it obvious like Lamar Jackson or Michael Vick for that matter, because at least Josh Allen can throw a football.
Yeah, and he knows, and Josh Allen knows he's not going to be able to run for as much as he used to when he was younger. So yeah, I think he's aware that he's adjusting as he goes. I think he's adjusting along the way.
Not to mention, he's also playing on a really rock solid offense.
Oh yeah,
because he didn't have any of that when he was in college.
No, he didn't.
Let alone his rookie year.
Nope.
So I don't know. The bottom line is that for Dallas to come out and say we're going to make Dak Prescott a running quarterback is just depressing, because you're basically are trying to kill Dak, even though he just got a massive payday. And now all of a sudden you're trying to get rid of him by potentially injuring him on purpose, potentially. Because Dallas has a good offensive line, but it's not like elite.
Right. This is not going to end well for him or for Dallas.
Absolutely not. And another piece of news came out today, which is very interesting. Have you heard about Amazon.com?
I mean, I work for them, so...
Well, the assholes over at Amazon have decided to hire Richard Sherman as a broadcast analyst for Thursday Night Football.
Wait, what?
You think I'm joking?
Wait, so what? Wow. Oh my gosh. So he's legit done with football.
Sounds like it.
Oh wow. I did not see that one coming.
I didn't either. He is a interesting specimen. I have to tell you, he really is. I mean, he was so good on Seattle for many, many years. And he was one of those people who I genuinely respected, but I also didn't at the same time. Because he was one of those corners where he would say, I'm the best corner in the game, which was very true at the time, especially when he played for Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
He was amazing on the Seahawks. But here's a problem. Normally at the time he would back up everything he said, and that's why I respected him so much. But when he went after Super Bowl 49, after they lost to the Patriots, he kind of just really went downhill. He did pretty good for himself in San Francisco, but I think it really took a toll on him in his second year. And then he went to Tampa Bay, and he was very rarely seen. So I think at this point he's pretty much done with playing.
I mean, it's unfortunate, honestly, but well, look, at least he's still, doing something NFL related. So, kudos to him.
Yep. Oh, and did I mention this guy is also 34 years old?
I have a feeling. Wow, did he just turn 34 this year?
Yeah, this year he was 34 years old.
Dang, I'm a year older than him.
Well, you and Mr. Sherman here are not too far off from age. Yeah, but what was your best fonding memory of Richard Sherman?
Oh gosh. It was when he was in Seattle, that post-game interview he did.
Oh yeah.
Where he was talking smack about Michael Crabtree.
I remember that. Aaron Andrews was
honestly, that was the very first time I've heard of the guy.
Really?
Yeah, legit.
Wow, I'm surprised. I mean, I knew who he was beforehand, but I was just like, wow. He really went on a rant at that time. And he used to hate the 49ers back in the day. Hated them. And then he stabbed them in the back, the Seahawks in the back, and he went and go sign with the 49ers. So,
oh boy,
I don't know. But he was a hell of a football player back in his heyday.
Yeah, he was a man. You want to talk about trash talker? My gosh.
Oh, he was a massive trash talker.
Man, couldn't stop running his mouth.
No, far from it. But he deserved to be where he was at the time. I mean, he was one of the best corners, if not the best corner. He was so good, Sean, that he was on the cover of Madden 15.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I feel like that's like the one cover that everybody tends to forget. Yeah, literally. There he is. Rich Sherman on the cover of Madden 15.
Yep. Very nice.
That was a nice cover, but I don't know. But it's just weird to me because, you know, I would never think in a million years that Rich Sherman would actually be on the cover of the game. But at the time, he deserved it.
Yeah, he did.
So I'm glad for him, though. I'm glad that he's settling down with Amazon and he's taking a broadcasting job. He actually might do pretty decent. Because I feel like a lot of former NFL players like Tony Romo, soon to be Tom Brady whenever he decides to retire, and now Richard Sherman, I feel like a majority of them will be really damn good in the future. A lot of them are very analytical, and a lot of them know what they're talking about. Some of them, a lot of them don't, unless your name is Chris Collinsworth, of all people.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, who would just say, no, here's a guy.
Good gosh.
Yeah, every time that Chris Collinsworth's on TV, he would always say, oh, now here's a guy. Now here's a guy. Now here's a guy. Now here's a guy. It would just be over and over and over.
So freaking annoying, man. Jeez. There's no other way to put it.
I don't even know if the fucker works for NBC anymore.
Who knows?
I have no idea. Let me find out for you guys. Sunday Night Football on NBC. On NBC. I for some reason, a lot of people don't like the broadcast team for NBC, but I don't mind it, actually. It's actually my favorite one.
I mean, I prefer Fox, to be honest.
Yep. Okay, the commentators are Mike Tirico and Chris Collinsworth. Fuck, he's still there. God damn it. But I'm pretty sure Al Michaels is now working over on Amazon also.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure, but I want to be sure. Let's see. Al Michaels. I can't believe this guy has yet to retire. This guy's almost 80 years old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's insane. Yeah, he's working on Amazon now for Thursday Night Football. Good for him.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like he's done a great job throughout his career covering football, Al Michaels.
Yeah, man. Man, the good old days of listening to him and freaking it was someone else, like back in the, I want to say back in the 90s, early 2000s. I forgot who he was.
Gary Thorne, Bill Clement.
I think it was Bill Clement. I think dang, it's been that long. I don't even remember. But yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, he did basically everything. He does a lot of football, which is what he's most notorious for. He did very few baseball games. He did very few basketball games and hockey games. He also did some boxing and horse racing. Yeah,
and I want to make a quick correction real quick. I did between what broadcasting company did the NFL. I changed my mind. I actually liked ABC a lot better, especially during the 90s and early 2000s, man. That the freaking Monday Night Football introduction. Oh man, Hank Williams.
Oh yeah.
Eesh. Yeah, that's my favorite.
When I think of Hank Williams, I think of the country singer.
Yep.
But Hank Williams has been dead for years, though.
Yeah, he has. But
it is what it is. But is there any one last minute comments you want to say before we wrap up this week's show?
Yes. Thoughts and prayers go out to the Pegula family.
That's right.
For those who don't know, Kim Pegula was had an illness. We don't know what kind it is, but and the thing is, she just celebrated her birthday this month as well, like just last week or something like that. And you know, it's just let's keep Kim Pegula in your thoughts and prayers. You know, the whole Pegula family. So Kim, we hope you get well real soon. Hope to see you back.
Absolutely. Apparently, I've heard that she's in ICU.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's for specialties for respiratory infections.
Oh no. I didn't even know that part.
Wait, you didn't know what ICU was?
No, I know what ICU is. I didn't know it was that serious.
Well, that's what the alleged reports are saying, that she's in the ICU and she's getting care for a respiratory infection.
Dang.
If it was hospice care, I think I would be a lot more concerned.
Well, either way, but we hope to see you. We hope to see her back soon. And I guess the future wifey just came home. But for real, guys, keep the Pagula family in your prayers, because heaven knows they need it. So
yeah. No, I wish her all the best. I wish her a speedy recovery, but I think she'll come out of it okay. I think there's a lot of people who go into ICU because you have to understand, in human nature, we get older, there tends to be a lot of health issues, and I think Kim Pagula is no exception. But
right.
I mean, I don't wish death on anybody, but you never know with these things. I mean, I think she's going to walk out alive. I think she'll be okay. She's going to get some really good care. She's going to get all the intense care that they're going to make sure she's okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, she's in good hands. She's going to get taken care of. Yeah, so
that's good to know.
Yeah, so with that being said, I'm sending out our thoughts and prayers to the entire Pagula family. This is your host, Bob Hansen. I am here with Mr. Sean O'Malley, and thank you for joining us on Buffalo After Dark, and we will see you next time. Hopefully that Tom joins us, because this fucking asshole keeps taking off every week because of his new job and leaves us two to be in charge. So I hope that, he comes back next week and we just go back to normal at once. And we also want to apologize real quick that the episodes have been coming out so late, because Tom is usually the one that's responsible for all the editing and all the behind the scenes stuff. But you just got a brand new job, so he's just kind of getting used to it a little bit more, and it's kind of pushing it back, the schedule, a little bit. So if our episodes come out a little later than expected, we do apologize in advance.
Yes. So just stay patient with us, guys. We'll get things back to normal as soon as we can.
Yeah, and we'll do everything we can. We'll have a new host for season 3. We'll have a new guest star or co-host in season 3. We have a lot of changes coming up really, really soon. And plus, my wedding is in exactly 5 weeks from now. So it's going to be very, very fun. I can't wait. And this is probably going to be possibly my second or third last episode before the show, but I will be back after all that. So I just want to throw that out there. So with that being said, I'm Bob Hansen. This is Sean O'Malley. And thank you for joining us in Buffalo After Dark. And we will see you next time.
Buffalo After Dark is an H&H Studio production and is produced in partnership with Horns & Hooves Entertainment.